Let's bloody well go. Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news as United make an attempt to steal Harry Kane from Bayern Munich. What's that all about? What's that all about Harry Kane? And could Manchester United pull off the best long-term transfer they've ever done? We'll be talking about that. Also, the latest on Harry Maguire. He's still thinking about whether he wants to leave Manchester United. What's to think about, Harry? What's to think about? I don't know. Scott McTominay as well, we'll be talking about that. There's a goalkeeping revelation with Tom Heaton injured. Dean Henderson might have to sit down and do something he always mouths off he'll never do. Sit down and be number 2 at Manchester United. What a bad summer it would be for Dean. We'll talk about that. And it could be a great summer for David De Gea. He could be Real Madrid's new number 1. It's Thursday night on the United Stand. Let's get ready to rumble. Lots to get into. Before we get into this Harry Kane story, though, you'll see on my left, we're sponsored by Boohoo Man. And I'm wearing some Boohoo Man clobber. This hot, very rare hot evening in the UK. It's been very hot today. So today's show is sponsored by Boohoo Man. You can get all your summer wear, all your coats, all your shorts, all your t-shirts, down the gym, down the park, down the beach, whatever it is, 40% off with the code Goldbridge at checkout. Get yourself kitted out. Fantastic prices with a 40% discount and the code is Goldbridge. And as you guys probably know as well, because it's Boohoo Man, they always do something a little bit, intricate and also interactive. That's the word I was looking for, with a bit of trivia for you, because they love to do that. So let's dive in, as always. So who am I? I began my professional journey at Manchester United, progressing through the club's academy before making my first team debut in the 2007-08 League Cup. During my time at Manchester United, I won the Premier League 3 times, the League Cup twice, the FA Community Shield 4 times, and the FIFA World Cup. I've played for multiple Premier League clubs, including West Brom and also Leicester City. I'm the second most decorated player in Northern Irish football and have played over 100 matches for them. I returned to Manchester United for a brief spell in 2023, signing a 1-month deal, which hopefully won't be any longer, for a pre-season friendly. I added that little bit in. And of course, everybody likes him. Most of us don't really want him to stay because he's past it, but we do all like him, and that's fine. That's fine. Of course, it's Johnny Evans, and congratulations to everyone who correctly guessed that. Of course, a big thank you to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the show. 40% off with the code Goldbridge. Scan the QR code with your camera phone or go through the link in the description and get yourself some fantastic clobber at a very reasonable price. Right, let's get straight into this story about Harry Kane. So, if you've not been following it, this is what's going on with Harry Kane. Bayern Munich have spent all summer negotiating with Spurs, and Spurs have pushed them higher and higher and higher to a point where, and I don't know what the price is, let's just say it's 100 million euros. Spurs have accepted it. And now Harry Kane is thinking he's not going to go. And Bayern Munich are looking like right mugs because they've spent all summer chasing Harry Kane. And now Harry Kane has made himself look a little bit silly because I think he thought Spurs were just going to reject. And now Spurs have accepted. He's gone, shit, I don't know whether I want to go to Bayern Munich. And then Bayern Munich are like, what the hell is going on? And now reports are coming out of Germany that a football club has made Harry Kane a big offer, bigger contract terms than Bayern Munich, to join them next summer. So basically, let's pretend Bayern Munich are playing Spurs 100 million euros and they're giving Harry Kane 300 grand a week. Some club has come in and said, we'll give you 400 grand a week because we'll get you for free and we'll give you a nice 20 million signing on fee as well. So basically, this is where we're at. Who's the club, everybody? Well, let me just say this. Manchester United's number 1 priority coming into the summer transfer window was Harry Kane. Do you think for 1 minute Man United haven't said, wait a year and we'll pay you good money? Come on. We're not the only one as well. There will be other clubs. I'm pretty sure PSG would do it. I don't know. Maybe Real Madrid would do it. I think Chelsea would do it. A lot of clubs are going to do it. And we're certainly going to be one of those clubs. Now, whether we're the club that's done it, let's wait and find out. But I certainly think we'll be one of the clubs that have done it. And also, I think it's massively interesting. I tweeted it before. I mean, look, it's logical. There was only 2 ways Man United were going to get Harry Kane. One, Qatar come in this summer and offer silly money to Spurs now. 2, you do what happens here. He stays a year and you get him for free in a summer. That's what you do. Kane is Kim Min-jae in reverse. Karma, I predicted this as Pete. And we shouldn't be waiting for him to come on a free. We should be getting him this season. That's not news we care about now. Not next season, says Matthew. Well, Matthew, look, it's news. And we'll come on to whether you want to wait a year for Kane. In fact, we'll do a poll on it straight away. But what I would say this is, I've seen a few Spurs fans on social media. Should we wait for Kane a year? Yes or no? I've seen a few fans saying that, a few Spurs fans saying, "Oh yeah, he's so loyal. He's so loyal," and I couldn't stop laughing, because if I'm a Spurs fan and he turns down Bayern Munich to stay at us for a year to go to one of our biggest rivals for free, I'd rather he went to Bayern Munich. But there's some Spurs fans who think it's great. Oh, he's staying at Spurs. He's going to walk. You've just accepted 100 million euros that's going to go into your club to reimburse, and you're celebrating him staying a year so he can walk away for free. You think he's staying to help you out? If he wants to help you out, he'll take the money now. He'll go to Bayern and give you 100 million. He's going to walk away from the club he loves in a year's time for nothing and start banging in the goals for Man United or Arsenal or Chelsea. That's what he's going to do, because he wants to break the goal scoring record and win a trophy. So Spurs, I mean, I don't know how Spurs fans are reading it, but I would only read it one way. Oh yeah, good old Harry, he loves Spurs, he's staying. In a year's time, what do you get? You get the memories. What are the memories worth? Well, memories are worth everything, Mark. I'd rather have 100 million euros. So yeah, he's Spurs through and through, Tina. He's Spurs through and through. He's only Spurs through and through if he signs a new contract. I don't think that's going to happen. What about half price January? Get him signed, says Andy. Well, that's on the menu as well. Shay, welcome to the Members Club as well. And have we actually bid for Kane? Says It's Football. Right. I mean, look. Unfortunately, we do get people who tune in who don't listen. How the bloody hell can we bid for Harry Kane when the whole story is that somebody's told him to wait a year? How can you bid for something when you're telling somebody to wait a year to buy them for free? How can you bid? Figure it out. That's not the story, mate. We've just spent 3 or 4 minutes talking about the story. Bayern Munich have bid for Harry Kane. It's been accepted, and now Harry Kane's thinking, I don't want to go because somebody has said, we'll pay you shitloads of money in a year's time when we get you for free. That's the situation. And look, I think that it's absolutely obvious that Manchester United are one of... I think it's Man United. I'm not going to say it. I mean, look, I don't know whether it's tapping up. I mean, who knows what the rules are now, but does he need to be tapped up? Do Man United even need to do the bid? I mean, I think it's obvious. And some people might say Harry Kane's a bit thick. I've never met the guy, but if I'm Harry Kane and I know Man United want me, and I know from my agent that Man United want me, and I know that Spurs won't let me go to Man United, and I know in a year's time I'm free, and I go, if I was free in a year's time, do you think you'd still want me? Okay, say no more. I didn't say anything. I just did a thumbs up. Yeah, say no more. I didn't say anything. I did a thumbs up. We're not getting done for tapping up. Man United have made it very, very clear that they want Harry Kane. Harry Kane knows what. Harry Kane will have more than one offer for next summer from numerous clubs. I think Harry Kane is now thinking what I said yesterday. If I was Harry Kane now, I'd have gone to Bayern Munich in June. I'd have gone to Bayern Munich at the start of July. Premier League buzz, season's about to start. You know, when the season starts, it doesn't actually feel that long until the summer. It's just relentless football, isn't it? And I just think he's looked at it and gone, well, the season's about to start. There's all this buzz. One more year at Spurs, and I'm bloody loaded. I mean, Kylian Mbappe is about to sit in the reserves for a year to make a load of money. Harry Kane won't be sitting in the reserves. He'll be banging goals in for Spurs. I think if you're Harry Kane, I've got to say, Spurs fans probably won't like it, but I think, tell me I'm wrong. If you're Harry Kane, now, do you go to Bayern, or do you just go, fuck it, I'm going to play one more year here, and then I'm free, and I can go wherever I bloody well like, and Daniel Levy can't tell me anything? Because at the end of the day, Harry Kane probably wants to sign for Man United. He's probably said to Daniel Levy, I want to go to Man United. And Daniel Levy's probably said, no chance. You're not going, Harry. You're not going to Man United. If you want to go anywhere, you go to Bayern. Well, I want to go to Man United. I want to stay in the Premier League. I want to stay in England. No, not happening. Well, I am. I'm going in a year. It'd be interesting. If he stays, I think he comes to United. I do. Look, he could go Chelsea and Pochettino. Let's be honest. He likes Pochettino and he likes London. I wouldn't say it's definite, but if he doesn't sign for Bayern, he's leaving Spurs next summer and he's going to another Premier League club. And it could be Chelsea. Could be Chelsea. Not going to say it's not. All I'm saying is Man United will be one of the clubs saying to him, if you wait a year, we'll be there. So, look. 60% of you said you would wait a year for Kane. What would I do? The third club is just Kane's agent trying to get him a final massive Spurs contract. He's seeing out his career there now. He ain't leaving London, says Anthony. And how can you be mad at someone asking if United have bid for Kane when the title on the video is literally United bid for Kane, Logan? Because literally, Logan, I've just spent 5 minutes explaining it. And if you're not intelligent enough to understand that, then maybe, this ain't the show for you. It's called listening. It's called listening, mate. Stop trying to be pedantic. In January, he'll be able to sign a contract for another club, even though he has 6 months left on January. No, he won't, Jack. Cannot sign for Manchester United in January on a contract. That's external European clubs. You're getting confused. If you're into the last year of your contract, in January, you can sign for another club outside of the league you're in. But you can't sign for Man United or Chelsea. He's getting old, may not be the same calibre next year, says Shay. Well, it's interesting because Victor Osimhen is finalising the parts of his new contract with Napoli. Now, some people think that's a bad thing. I personally think that it's interesting in the sense that if Osimhen has got the release clause in it, then his release clause might be something that Man United can push the button on if it's 100 million. Dowell says, still won't answer why he put it as a title if that's not even the story. Oh, my God. Look, we've got 24,000 people watching. If Dowell and a few prats want to piss off, piss off. Seriously, we can do without the idiots in the chat. I mean, I don't do this for fun. I do it for enjoyment. If you don't listen to what we've just spoken about, the thumbnail says Kane bid. The title says United bid for Harry Kane. Manchester United have spoken to Harry Kane about coming to Manchester United next summer. What the hell do you think that means? United bid for Kane. It doesn't mean we've gone to Spurs and said there's £100 million. A bid for Kane doesn't mean it doesn't have to mean you've been for Spurs. If you don't want to listen to what I'm explaining because it's beyond your intelligence, don't listen. Go and watch EastEnders or Coronation Street. Man United came into the summer with Harry Kane as their number one target. Spurs said no chance. Bayern Munich spent all summer trying to buy Harry Kane. Spurs said yes. Harry Kane has now said no because a club has approached Harry Kane and said, next summer we'll pay you more than Bayern Munich and we're a Premier League club. Now, who do you think that is? Manchester United want Harry Kane this summer and then suddenly he's going, I'm going to wait a year because there's a club that's going to pay me more than Bayern Munich. I don't even think it's Man United. I think it's Manchester United. I think it's PSG. I think it's Chelsea. I think it's 4 or 5 clubs who would be thick not to do it. I think 4 or 5 clubs have got to Harry Kane and said, wait a year, Harry, and we will make you richer than Bayern Munich and you'll be playing in the Premier League. So if you don't want to think that's true, fine. Absolutely fine. I don't care. But if you don't understand what we're talking about, then, that's the second time I have to waste another 2 minutes explaining it to people who aren't intelligent enough to understand what's been going on all summer. And you can say what you like about whatever, but I sit here absolutely nailed on true about Rasmus Højlund. So, if you don't know, you don't know, don't you? Anyway, let's move on. We're going to talk about, look, 60% of you would wait for Harry Kane for a year. Would I wait for a year? How old's Harry Kane in a year's time? 30... How old's Harry Kane in a year? So he's 31. I'll be 38 because he's 30. He's just been 30. 31 in a year's time. Mate, I'd wait. You know why I'd wait? I'm just about to drop the mic again. anybody who's saying you won't wait for Harry Kane for a year, he's free. He's free. You know, all my concerns about Harry... I'm Robert McCormack FC. All my concerns about Harry Kane were 80, 90, 100 million pounds for a 30-year-old who could decline in his early 30s like a lot of English strikers do. Yeah, I don't think it's worth doing it. At 31 for free, I mean, I was all over Zlatan in his mid-30s, Ronaldo in his mid-30s, Cavani in his mid-30s. Like, of course, I would take Harry Kane in a year's time. And the great thing is, try before you buy. Let's see what happens to him this year, because there's not going to be a hell of a lot of difference between 30 and 31. I just wasn't comfortable with giving Spurs 80, 90 million. I'll happily take him for free. 31-year-old Harry Kane for free. All right, the wages will be big, but who gives a shit? I mean, even 500 grand a week. 500 grand a week is 6 million a year. 6 million a year over 4 years. 24 million. Ooh, wow. 24 million for Harry Kane over 4 years. Who gives a shit about that? That's just wages. So, yeah, I would do that. And look, their end of the lesson. If you're not going to give him 500k a week, are you? But 500k a week over 4 years is 24 million quid. 24 million pounds for Harry Kane. Do you think Bayern are giving him 500 grand a week? No wonder somebody's got in contact with Kane and said, wait a year, you'll be playing. And the great thing for Kane is, if he goes to Arsenal or Chelsea or Man United or Man City or Liverpool and they give him 500 grand a week, he goes there, he definitely breaks Shearer's record, and he probably scores goals, and he stays in England. So, interesting. What I would say is, United can put a bid in for him and say, wait a year. Chelsea can put a bid in and wait a year. In a year's time, he might go Chelsea, because he might just go, I want to play for Poch and I want to stay in London. We might not get him. Might not be that easy. Kane on a 3-year contract would be smarter than wasting 100 million on Osman. Why would we buy another young striker with Ramos, Højlund with us? Says Mario. You know what? I don't know whether it's going to happen or not, but Kane at 31 with Rasmus at 21, I like that dynamic. Kane just gradually goes into retirement and Rasmus gradually moves into prime. I'd love it. What about the news regarding the Spurs owner? Didn't he instruct Levi to sell him this summer? If Kane stands firm, we might still have a chance now. Well, Ivan, I was going to move on, but I think this is a great point. Great point. Do Spurs get themselves in a position now where they say to Kane, what if we let you go to Man United now? Does that happen? Now, it's the Gary Neville theory. It's some of you've said it. My stance on that is that Spurs are ridiculously bad to deal with. And as much as it might be logical to say we'd rather take the money from Man United, have Man United got 100 million to spend on Kane? I don't know. And would Spurs even do it? I don't think Spurs would do it anyway. On holiday, watching the show from a beach in the Caribbean, enjoying as always. Kane on a free would be amazing business, but it's wishful thinking, says J Mac. Mark, are you aware we've sold Kovar for 9 million? We're slowly racking up millions in outgoings. Can see an excitement end to the transfer with, says Daily Hibbert. Thank you, Daily Hibbert. We spoke about it on the Fred reaction, yes. Slow Sports News says, I was speaking to Beth earlier on Twitter and stated we should go for him in January, verbal agreement like we did with Ahmad. So Slow Sports News. And since Levi accepted the bid, will he not say go or sign a new contract? Don't think he will be free next season, says Neil. Can I do a bit of acting? The people who've gone to watch EastEnders should have stayed here now, right? So Daniel Levy says to Harry Kane, either go to Bayern Munich or sign a new contract because you're not leaving for free. Daniel, first of all, you can have one of those. And guess what? I've got another one. You can swivel on both of them. Who are you to tell me I've got to sign a new contract or go to Bayern? I think you might want to check my contract. Up in 2024. I'm sitting here and I'm off in 2024 for free. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Haven't felt this excited for a season to start for a while. Come on, United, says Harry. Yeah, you know what, Harry? I don't know how everybody else feels, but for the first time, I'm actually pissed off that we're playing on a Monday because I was quite happy. I was quite happy about that. But Ian McCormack says, read the chat. I'm reading the chat. Just loads of people laughing and saying Happy smiley faces and stuff. Yeah, I'm reading the chat like I always do. I've been here since like forever, says Dawell, and was only trying to banter you. My bad, it upset you. Peace and love. Dawell, it's all right. It's just sometimes you get a prat in the chat and I shouldn't read it. It's like the old days. Sometimes, look, I'm a human being. People hold me up on a pedestal that's unfair. I'm not a goat. I'm not some superstar. You know, I stream a lot. I've done a lot of streaming today. And sometimes I do get pulled into petulance and bad moods. And anybody who watches the channel knows that. And they enjoy the channel because they know sometimes you'll get drunk bridge. Sometimes you'll get happy bridge. Sometimes you'll get sad bridge. And sometimes you'll get angry bridge. And that's what happens. And if you don't like it, that's why I say piss off and watch something else. Because this community has been going for 9 years. And you either get it or you don't. I don't care whether you don't. I can only be who I am. That's what makes this community what it is. And sometimes I will be rude. Sometimes I'm not in a great mood. Sometimes I read something and it pisses me off because I've just explained it. And that's what happened. Why can't we go in for Dumfries? He's a tall, fast right back, says Josh. Well, look, this transfer window is so weird. I wouldn't be surprised if we signed Frimpong. Mark, 500 a week in 26 is 26 million. 100 million over 4 years is a lot. Just when I was out of the bad mood, the prat pulls me back in. What are you talking about? 500k a week is 26 million. It's not. We're both wrong. But you're right. Fucking hell, you're right. I'm a twat. See, I can be wrong as well. 500k a week. How can I say 500k a week is 4 million a year? Idiot. Absolute idiot. You're right. I'm an idiot. 500k a week is 26 million a year because 500k a week is 2 million a month times 12 is 24 times 4 is nearly 100 million. Look, when I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. Unlike some people who cannot accept it when they're wrong, I will have to bow down to being a turbo prat for the first time in months. 100 million over 4 years is a lot, but but to be fair, it was. If you think about, look, Jadon Sancho is on 300 grand a week, so Jadon Sancho is on 2.4 million a month, times 10, 24 million. He's on about 26 million a year. Now that can't be right. Oh, well, I've got into a math. 600 grand, 1.2 million a month. Times 10. Oh, God. He's on 20. Look, he's on about 15 million a year, isn't he? Jadon Sancho's on about 15 million a year. Let's just say it's around 15 million a year. 4 years, that's 60 million. Plus, we spent 75 million on him. So, you wouldn't be paying a transfer fee, is what I'm trying to say. Why is Eric Ten Hag given a complete free ride? If we aren't winning the league, he needs to at least deliver good football, says Sakin. Oh, dear. If we get KANE next year, what does that mean for Osman? Says Storm. Well, we wouldn't get him. Mojo's gifted 20 memberships. Matt, what a legend. Sorry, Mark, says Nickette. No, Mark, mate, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm a prat. I've been beaten. Nickette's beat me. Hashtag Nickette for the win. Nickette the GOAT. KANE for 90 million plus Sancho, says Man United, Dolls. And there has to be accountability. Sakin's on a mad one. Sakin would sack him, Ten Hag. It can't be all good things are due to Ten Hag and all bad things to the board. When will we start competing? I think sacking is Richard Arnold. That's my theory. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, look, we spent a long time talking about Harry Kane there. Ultimately, I think it's going to get very interesting. Look, he might still sign for Bayern, but as I said, there's a business decision there for Harry Kane. It's absolutely logical. I mean, the way I look at it is this. If you're Harry Kane, and you see £100 million going to Spurs from Bayern Munich, and then you sign for Bayern and you're on 300 grand a week, you go to Bayern Munich in a year's time, you've not won the Champions League, you're looking at the Premier League, you've still got 2 or 3 years left on your deal in Germany, and you're going, it's patience, isn't it? Instead of giving Spurs 100 million and you get 300 grand a week, you wait a year, you stay in the Premier League, you break the goal scoring record, you go to a club that can win trophies, and you probably earn 400 grand a week with a 10, 15 million pound signing on fee. If he can be patient, the logical thing is to wait. but he screws Spurs over if he does. And that's the amazing thing. I think I was speaking to somebody today and they said Harry Kane 100% wants Spurs to just reject every bid and keep him, because then he can't be the villain. Spurs have played a clever game. Spurs have accepted that Bayern bid, probably knowing Kane's going to turn it down. And now Kane's turned it down, Spurs can say, look, we wanted to cash in, he wouldn't go. The guy that loves Spurs won't cash in and give us some money for him. He's going to walk away to a Premier League rival in a year and we're going to get nothing. So it's an interesting one for Kane. And I do wonder if he'll just be forced into going to Bayern because of Spurs fans might turn on him. They might not. Whatever happened to Man United news about the club capping players' wages to around 200k a week? If that was true, do you think they'd have Harry on 500k, says Michael Parsons. Mate, that was a load of bollocks. We're giving Marcus Rashford 350. That was never going to happen. Man United cutting wages. You having a laugh? Having a laugh? Like McDonald's not serving burgers. You're having a laugh. Cody, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Joa says Kane's only on 200 grand a week and Levi's ripping him off every year. Right, let's move on anyway. We can always come back to that, but there are some other bits to talk about. So Harry, from one Harry to another, Harry Maguire. The latest on Harry Maguire is that he will not be leaving before this weekend. We had hoped for Here We Go, actually, but there's now talk that it's going to rumble on into the new year. Sorry, not the new year. It's not the sale. It's now going to rumble into next week. There's also talk that Harry Maguire isn't 100% sure he wants to leave yet. I mean, look, you know, the interesting thing here is that, I even saw a tweet today. It's a shame about Fred and all the abuse he got. What abuse has Fred got? You know what? We've got to be really careful in society these days. Fred apparently has now been abused. I've never heard Fred be abused. I've heard people say Fred's shit. That's not abuse. That's talking about his football. Now, Fred's been abused now. You know, we need to go and buy a load of violins, because everyone who leaves now... He was a Manchester United midfielder. All he wanted to do was be liked. And people said he was shite. He earned 100 grand a week. He wasn't quite good enough for Man United. That's abuse, apparently. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. He's not been abused. Fred's not been abused. I mean, he's abused us at times with some of his performances. What about us? What about us having to watch that shit? But look, we've spoken about Fred. All the best. Nice guy. Happy smiley face. He's not been abused. There's people in our fan base at the moment who are just acting weird. Like every player who leaves now, it's like virtue signalling. Well, I was there behind you, Fred, all the time. It was not fair the way that people said you were shit. And, well, let's keep him then. Get him back. Cancel the flight. Bring him back. Put him in the midfield. Let's see what you're saying then. Because you like the guy who cries wolf. You don't really mean it. You're just doing it. You don't mean it. I'll tell you what, all these people, Dad, stop singing, you're embarrassing me, says Seb. Hi, can I get that top once you've done streaming, says Lewis. I love this top. You know, all these people who've spent the last few days doing these tweets about Maguire, saying, oh, Harry this, Harry that, we'll miss you, you shouldn't have been treated like that, all the abuse and everything like that. I actually think it'll be hilarious if Maguire stays now. Because all those twats who've tweeted that, I'll say, well, you must be over the moon. You must be over the moon. Because all us wanted him to go because he's not good enough. Football. That was all it was ever about. You lot and your virtue signalling, oh, Harry, it's terrible that you've been forced out of this football club because you're not good enough. Well, I'll tell you what, I hope he stays now because all those prats can live with it. It could be their fault because he's not actually decided to go yet. And I've said this all week. I've said until he's holding up a West Ham shirt, I won't believe he's going anyway. Now, he probably will go, to be honest, but... You know, all these bloody, oh, it's horrible, all the abuse he's had, all the treatment he's had. I mean, I don't even know what abuse we're talking about here. I don't agree with the booze, but somebody saying Harry Maguire's a bit shit. I mean, come on. There's a lot worse said in the stadiums. There's a lot worse that used to get said in the 80s and 90s. Grow up. But look, the latest on Harry Maguire is that he might not even go. Obviously, he's on huge money. It's the opposite of Harry Kane, actually. He's got to take a pay cut to go to West Ham, and he wants to make sure he doesn't do that. So we'll have to wait and see with Maguire, but it has slowed down a little bit. Scott McTominay is still part of the discussion for West Ham. It's gone very quiet with McTominay, but he is still part of it. Why don't we use McTominay as Casemiro's understudy, says Erwin. Also, I thought Erik Ten Hag was good with youth. Now we're after Kane. Maybe we misunderstood our main man. Hopefully Jose becomes available in the next few years. Okay, we're getting infiltrated by twats tonight as well. Sorry, it's Thursday. Maybe some people be down the pub. But look, in the end of the day, the Man United's... Fred's gone, as we know. Here we go. But we probably haven't done as much this week as we would have liked to. And, I think that the cold, harsh fact is the only person who's gone this week is Fred. And that's not official yet. That's only here we go. So there still needs to be a bit of a rocket up the arse of Man United. And it's very interesting as well, because Dean Henderson might be staying now. And I saw a lot of people tweeting about it earlier saying, please, God, no. I mean, look, he's never going to start in goal for United. It's Onana, so I don't really care. You know what? I actually think it'd be quite funny if Dean Henderson has to stay, because I thought the way when he was understudy to De Gea, I thought he behaved like a petulant child, constantly thinking he should be number one, constantly putting stuff out there about it, disrespectful. And ever since then, he's like, I'm too good to be a number two. I'm not going to be a number two. I don't want to train in front of Ten Hag because he'll be begging me to stay. You spent all summer begging him, staying in front, training in front of him. He's not even picked you, mate. Not even put you on the bench. So I think it'll be hilarious if Dean Henderson has to stay now, because Tom Heaton's got injured, and we've sold Kovar and Bishop. So there's a very big chance that Dean Henderson will have to stay and be the understudy, and he has got no chance of being the goalkeeper ahead of Onana unless Onana gets injured. And then if Onana comes back, he'll be out anyway. So I don't really care if Dean Henderson stays as a backup goalkeeper, because he's a good goalkeeper, and as a backup, that'd be absolutely fine. But it's 100% not what he wants to happen. And also, it's another player that really we needed to sell to bring some money in. So it's bad news in that sense. It's horrific news for the player. But apparently Tom Heaton's got a bit of an injury. So Dean Henderson may well end up staying now. All the reports are Bayern had their bid accepted by Levy already. Says give it to Mike. Yeah, he has. But apparently Kane doesn't want to go. I still think Kane's situation will go like Berbatov, says Luke. I mean, look, you know what? If we could get Harry Kane on transfer deadline day, I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. But because, I love Rasmus Højlund, but I think having a senior striker to work with would be great for his development. But I don't know. I doubt it. Mark, Erik Ten Hag should put him on the bench or squad for Wolves. Final nail in the coffin, says Lloyd. And apologies if you covered already, but Kovar bought by a German club, says Riker. Yeah, we spoke about it on the Fred reaction. He's gone to Leverkusen with a buyback clause for about 8 million quid. I agree with that deal. Hendo is unwanted, yet he is demanding and picky, says Abdo. And for me, it's sad to see players like David, Fred and Ronaldo leave, but Ten Hag is doing the open heart surgery he was enlightened on by his elder, and unfortunately more have to leave for us to bring back our glory days, says Kens. I think that's probably comment of the evening. I do want to say, though, just in relation to goalkeepers, he doesn't play for us anymore, but you mentioned him there, Kens. David De Gea. Courtois has gone and done his knee in a very, very bad way. And apparently, well, I mean, it's so logical. I would do it as well. Because when Courtois is back fit, he goes straight back in at number one, doesn't he? So why would you go and spend good money on a goalkeeper? I mean, David De Gea is free. He's free. Like, there's no money that comes to us. He's absolutely free. I will love it if David De Gea gets signed up by Real Madrid and he's their goalkeeper at the start of the season, because you know what? Good things happen to good people. Sometimes you've just got to wait for it. I don't care what anybody says. And I think Ten Hag would agree. And I'm not saying he was wrong for doing it. It was ruthless. But it was ruthless in a different way. I think if you're ruthless with Harry Maguire, he probably deserves it because he's not good enough. But the way we were ruthless with De Gea was bordering on disgraceful, really. For what he's done for this football club. He is a legend, and he got treated very badly at the end. I'm not saying bringing in, I like Onana, and I'm not saying that the transition was wrong, but some people got wrapped up in how excited they were about Onana and the change. But when you actually look at it, he was treated like shit. Like, the contract was there, then it wasn't, then wait, he didn't get a goodbye. They did treat him like shit. But you know what? Life sometimes has a funny way of, swinging it around. And I'm not talking about porn. And I'd love it Because remember, he wanted to go to Real Madrid all those years ago. He did. The fax machine saved us. That's a fact. So, I mean, look, his choices are probably some shitty little club in Europe or go and earn the money in Saudi Arabia, which he can do anyway. So how nice would it be for him to go back to Madrid, play for Real Madrid for 6 months, Champions League football? I don't know whether it happens. I don't know whether it'll happen or not, but I'd love to see it happen, and he deserves it. I'd love to see it. And we can't have anything but happiness and hope for David De Gea because he served this club fantastically well, and we spat him out for nothing. So I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it if it happens. I don't know whether it will, but it would be a nice story, and I hope it does. And I tell you what, I think he'd do a good job there. Look, he's not a modern goalkeeper, but he's not. People are talking like he's Steve Ogrizovic or Neville Southall. You know, he's not some archaic, past-it goalkeeper. He's still a good goalkeeper. And for 6 months as cover for Courtois, I think he'd do a good job. Lukaku showed some form for Inter Milan towards the end of the season. Maybe get him while we develop Rasmus. You're having a laugh, Erwin. It's you again. Hi, Mark. Do you know of Schalke? One footballer said Man United's new forward from the Bundesliga. No, Pablo, I don't. And hi, Mark. Hope you're well. Who could be the other midfielder we look at beside Amrabat and the latest on the right back, says Rizik. Good question. So we've always been really interested in Frimpong. Always been really interested in Frimpong. If we sign Wan-Bissaka on a new contract, we've just signed Delo on a new contract, so I don't really know how that happens. But look, it would never surprise me if we went and bought Frimpong. He loves him, okay? On the midfielder, there's a few things that need to happen. If McTominay goes, Fred goes, Donny goes, I think we bring 2 midfielders in. Amrabat's obviously the hot favourite. I thought Tyler Adams was interesting, but he's gone to Chelsea. I mean, fucking, you know when you play Fantasy Premier League, I've never seen it before that you go to page 2 on a team. You know when you go to individual teams, Chelsea, you go to page 2. Now people will say you do it with United. You do actually, and I don't really know why, but Chelsea have got so many bloody players. So Tyler Adams has gone there. Lavia could be going there or Liverpool. Casido could be going Chelsea or Liverpool. So, I mean, the one player I like is Casido. I like Casido. Sorry, not Casido. I do like Casido. I like Gravenberch. But, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Apparently, Rasmus Højlund will wear the number 17 shirt. This has come out from Fabrizio Romano. If you're interested in shirt numbers, he's taken Fred's number, which will be interesting. I'm just having a look here. Apparently the Mason Greenwood announcement is still going to happen before the Wolves game. Could be, I mean, look, at the end of the day, who knows what's going to happen with regards to that, but they're obviously going to try and hide it in the Premier League weekend, aren't they? I don't know. I've got no indication of what will happen there. Somebody, and the reason I've just popped over onto social media is because somebody said that Casido deal Liverpool. Casido, here we go. Liverpool are willing to pay a club record fee to sign Moises Casido. Who's this coming in from? A lot of people are talking about it, and I can't see who's reporting it. Someone in the chat will tell us. I mean, I don't Sky. Slow Sports News. I'd wait for somebody better than Sky, to be honest with you. They are absolutely crap. Have you seen some of the crap they put on there now? I mean, it's terrifying. I mean, literally, they could ring me up and get me to go on and talk about transfers. It's terrifying. And actually, my sources have probably been better. I mean, I'm going to dine off Rasmus for a long time, of course. But yeah, look, Casido is exactly what Liverpool want, and I think a signing like that automatically takes Liverpool from an unknown quantity into, you know, a serious threat, doesn't it? Henderson, ego won't allow it, and by January they have an interview with Piers Morgan, and I hope David wins the Champions League and all the haters are silenced, says Jack. Thank you, Jack. Marky Mark, don't let the haters get you. You're an all dog bringing his daily opinions up the Reds, says Alex. Thanks, Alex. What about Pavard and Todibo, says Shame Time to it. Well, nothing's going to happen with that until we get rid of Maguire. So, yeah, I'm happy this summer, says Shahin. 6.5 out of 10 so far. What do you think is the probability of signing another striker? And I hope we get Amrabat and a centre-back soon. I think there's no chance of us buying a striker if we have put this bid in for Kane to wait a year, which I'm sure we have. I don't think there's any chance of us going for another striker. Potentially a loan. Potentially a loan. Hale says, was Neville right then? What did he say? No, he wasn't right, because he was just talking opinionated from, you know, United should put a bid in for Harry Kane this transfer window, which I just can't see as being one, I don't think we've got the money now, and two, I don't think that Spurs will accept it. I read a lot of people saying this morning, this is what I find incredible, and I don't know whether I said this morning, but I saw a lot of people saying it on social media and videos and websites. Man United should just match the Bayern Munich bid. What's the point? What is the point in doing that? Like, it's like the girl of your dreams who's already agreed to marry a millionaire who's better looking than you, and you saying, "Will you marry me?" Like, it's just, what's the point? They're not going to pick you. And in this case, if Bayern Munich offer 100 million for Kane and it gets accepted, and Man United offer 100 million for Kane, Spurs will say, piss off. Because they don't want to sell him to a Premier League club. That's why they want to sell him to the Bundesliga. So unless Spurs are in a situation where they desperately have to take Man United's bid, which I don't think they do, then, you know, we've tried. What I'm trying to say is, do people not take any notice? We tried this at the start of June. We tried that at the start of June. We went to Spurs and said, you know, we've got the money. Can we do a deal? No, we're not selling to a Premier League club. So United moved away. And unless Spurs ring us up and say, we will do a deal for you now, we might not even have the money to do that now. It's just not going to happen. But there's a cleverer way around it. And I think that's what we're hearing in the last few hours. I would do it. I would do it. I really would. I would definitely do it. I would be saying to Kane, just wait a year. Wait a year. And I don't think it's tapping up. Somebody said it's tapping up. I don't think it's tapping up. You know, I don't think it's tapping up. How can it be? I think Ten Hag, and he won't do it, I think Ten Hag could sit in a press conference tomorrow. One of the journalists could say, do you want Harry Kane? And if I was Ten Hag, I'd say, we'd love to buy, you know, we don't talk about players at other clubs, but Spurs won't sell to another Premier League club, and 100 million's a lot of money, but we're always looking for good players, and we're definitely looking at players who've only got a year left in their contracts, because if you can't get them now, in a year's time they're free, and you can offer them favourable terms because they're free. Have I just tapped Harry Kane up? Have I? No, I haven't. Have I just told Harry Kane, we'll get you in a year? Yeah, I have. And that's exactly what Man United and a few other clubs will have been doing. It's not tapping up. I haven't named him. I haven't put an offer in. Anthony, thank you very much. No, Ten Hag would never say that, but you could say that. You can get that to him, definitely. Give them Hoyland. Why don't I speak about the Glazers, says True Legion. We speak about them all the time. Absolutely, we speak about them all the time. It would be a crap question to ask Ten Hag, you're right, because he would just go, I don't talk about players at other clubs. We have got a press conference with Eric Ten Hag tomorrow, by the way. Some of you might have forgotten because the Premier League is back, but his press conference is tomorrow lunchtime, so we'll be doing our very first reaction to that tomorrow. I think it's lunchtime. Great show, says Koala. Thank you very much. It's 1:30 tomorrow, says Sam Bates. Thank you very much. Loads of people tuning in for these 8 o'clock shows. They've been brilliant this week. Really enjoyed it. What else have we got? Let's see if we've got any more breaking news. Max Aarons has gone somewhere. That's great. Be great if we got Real Madrid in the Champions League if David De Gea goes there. Oh, this Sky story is crap. Liverpool are willing to pay a club record fee to sign Moises Caicedo. Wow, you know. Yeah. I believe it when I see it, but what a good signing it would be. What a signing that would be. Look, let's wait and see what happens. Some interesting stuff going on. Brandon Williams on Instagram, let the games begin. Cards, don't know what that means. Anyone know? Brandon Williams on Instagram's all over the place. If he wasn't a professional footballer, he reminds me of me on social media when I'm pissed. It's just so sporadic. Maybe thinks he's staying. I don't know. The problem with Brandon Williams is, and I'm not talking about him as a footballer, but a lot of people would move Brandon Williams on. How do you move a player on who's on 60 grand a week and isn't even that good? So, Mark, a year later, shouldn't we be signing someone like Osimhen, says Mojo? Yeah, potentially, and yeah. Anyway, don't forget Boohoo Man. Scan it, 20%, 40% off with the code GoldBridge. Big day tomorrow. Just a heads up, tomorrow night there won't be an 8 o'clock show. Friday night 8 o'clock show. Boohoo! No, it's going to be. Well, there will be an 8 o'clock show, but it's Burnley against Man City on That's Football. I would never do that as a watch along, but it's the first game of the Premier League, so I'm just going to do it. So if you're looking for me tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, I will be doing a watch along talking about all sorts of stuff. Don't forget to smash a like on the video. You're all legends in the chat. Really enjoyed it. And subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And yeah, I'll speak to you all in a bit. Take care. Thank you very much for watching.